Welcome.
And folks, we are back. We took a week break or 2 week break?
2 week break. We had Super Bowl, then we had Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day and President's Day, but you know, Valentine's Day was more important, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
President's Day is just that day off. No.
Hey.
But real talk, hey, no, we got to be honest, man. Like keeping it 1,000% real. Like it's their day off.
That's all it is.
You know,
if Valentine's Day was just a day off, that's exactly what it would be too. But I enjoyed the day off. I didn't barbecue. We didn't do anything crazy. But you know what? For me, it's already my day off. Kind of, I don't really get to benefit from that much.
That's kind of whack.
It is.
Yeah, that's kind of whack. Like all your national holidays fall on your day off.
Oh,
like
my day off. My RDO.
Like this is whack. But folks, this is episode 77 of the Adventures of the Black Nerds. I am Baron J. Finishes games 6-7.
Ha. No, you finish your story mode. That's it. And I am T. Jones.
I beat games. I beat games.
I'm over here sounding bitter.
Yeah, you sound real. You sound like a real McHater. Hey, but it's all good because let me just go ahead and put this in. You know, for 2021, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. That's
you got a list? No.
Yeah, I got a list.
Notepad on my
I'm a
home
nerd.
screen.
I keep a list. Yeah, I keep a full list. I have what's it called next? I have Final Fantasy 15 up here next, but I know that's a deep RPG, and I'm like, I know once I dive into
skip that
I'll
one
be
for
gone
now,
for a
bro.
while. Yeah, like I want to knock a couple other games down. Like I'm thinking about finishing Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor first.
You might want to wait.
Then go on to Final Fantasy.
Wait until like May.
Last
week in May.
That's the cool thing because I'm trying to burn through a lot of games before Deathloop comes out. Because I'm gonna be honest, this year, we'll jump into a couple of the games.
When's the due date on
I want to say Deathloop comes out in May. I want to say it is May.
Well, I don't know why I was thinking end of the year.
Me too.
Yeah.
Which I could be wrong. Let's see. Deathloop, May 21st. Yeah.
Oh, well, no. You might. No, you see now. So then you're going to have to push it back a good 2 months because you start that, you probably going to want to beat it.
Yeah. But it's made by Arcane, which is the same people who did Dishonored. So I think the game is going to be around 20 hours max.
It better be. Didn't what's the name have something to do with that too? Bethesda?
Yeah, they're over Arcane Studios.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the publisher.
See, I be paying attention, y'all. Come on, man. Y'all gotta let me breathe.
I'm telling you. Well, see, what's so crazy is before we get into Mortal Kombat, I'll kind of give the folks an update of what I've been doing. So I've been taking this whole beating games all 2021 to heart, as you heard.
Yes, sir.
I've beat five games or 6. I'll for sure 5 games.
And
1,
to the
2, 3,
and to
4,
the like
5.
hardcore person, that is nothing. But you don't know Baron. Baron.
Yeah, I don't beat games.
Nothing. He just fishes. We make a joke out of it. He just fishes and collects shit. That's it. He don't. Completing the game isn't in his objective. It's literally having fun. The true embodiment of having fun.
Yeah, I really will play a game, spend hours playing it, and have no goal or like strive to finish it.
Yeah.
It is the most
but
get ranked up, get high level.
Funny though, you would make the best grinder. Like if you were a part of like a streaming team, you would be the guy to grind. Like literally, you would be the guy. Like if you ever did like a Professor Oak's challenge in a Pokemon game, your Pokemon would be at a level 100 before you got to gym number 1. Like that's you.
Well, also, I think I would do really good in an MMO. Mm-hmm. I really, really believe I would do damn good in an MMO. My only issue is I don't like to play one game. And I think that's out of spite. I don't even think it's because like I just don't want to play one game. No, I think it's just me being stubborn. Like I want to not be this guy.
Yeah,
because I could do it. I mean, Warframe, I fished.
Yeah.
But Blessed Unleash, I would sit there and farm materials, and I was like getting commissions and making.
But don't you?
Money.
I think you look at it as a waste, though, don't you? Like I think.
Hey, what up, kiddo?
Oh yeah, what up, kiddo? Hey, listen, I think you look at it as a waste. Like all right, I bought this system, and all I'm gonna do is play this one game, and I know there's a plethora of other games out there that I want to play.
That is ultimately what it always boils down to, and why it's so quick for me to drop it. Mm-hmm. And it's funny enough when you roll it over to PC. Here it is. I got a better PC, but I think I still play games that I could have played on my older laptop. Like I still play Starbound. Only game I play now is Mordau, which I figured out how to stream that bad boy. I put it on the lowest settings, and then I can stream it. Like that's the only game I've played that like struggles my PC, and it's more of like just making sure I got a fluid stream with no bitrate drops.
No drop.
But if I max it out, when battle gets hectic, like when it's like 30 people in a small area, all of a sudden frames start bouncing. But as soon as I crank it down to low, all good. Go. But yeah, what up, kiddo?
Yeah, man. I think kiddo, it's man. That. Oh my bad. Go ahead. What are you saying?
No, with console, you're right. It's a thing. It's a thing of there's so many games out here, and I think that's why I don't have a hard time putting something down and moving on. Because it's like I want to experience something else. Yeah. I want to play it. Like you should see my Switch catalog and ask me how many of my Switch games I beat. And then don't let a Switch sale go by. Like then it's really an issue.
Yeah.
I just I'm glad I've been beating games. Because for one, I didn't realize. Let me rephrase. I knew how bad my backlog was. I knew it, but now I'm like trying to strategically get through it. I'm trying to knock out a lot of my 12 to 25 hour games. Mm-hmm. Like one that almost clipped my wings was freaking The Last of Us 2. It overstayed its welcome. The game was not bad. The ending in my opinion, the ending was only bad because of how long it took to get to that point. Mm-hmm. Hey, Tom, what up?
Oh, Tom, what up, man?
Family. Hey, no, it's legit. It was seriously long-winded. It would have been better as either a 2-part game, or they would have had Abby be a DLC, or even have you play as Abby the entire time. Mm-hmm. It would have pissed a lot of people off. But it would have been a dope story to tell.
Yeah.
Like you're just Abby from the jump. You don't know what's going on. And if you've played the beginning of The Last of Us 2, or at least watched the first hour, you know what I'm talking about. You really don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Like in terms of when you become Abby, you don't really get what's going on. And then all of a sudden it gets to that point without trying to spoil the game, even though it's.
But it's kind of hard for you to explain without ruining the storyline for people.
Yeah. Basically,
I feel like you get more detailed than that.
Yeah, it is a lot more detailed. But long story short, it's an old Western. It's a Western revenge story. That's what the game is. But it's way too long winded, and it almost like I was hitting points where I was like, if it makes me backtrack back to this area, I'm quitting. Like I was dead serious. I was like, if this game makes me backtrack, I will quit right now.
Y'all better believe it.
And thank God it didn't. Every time I said it, it didn't do it. I was ready. Like I'm done. I'm over it. I don't want nothing to do with this damn game no more. Yeah, because it was too far, and then you end up in Santa Monica. And it's like, what? And one thing I will say though, it did make it look like Southern California, and it was really weird. Like, okay. But then what verified my thoughts though about the entire game is my little brother came over and played it. Now he don't come over no more because he beat it, but he came over all the time and was playing it, and he kept asking me. He was like, "Damn, how much more do I got? Like, wait, now we in Southern California? Now we in," and he was saying the same thing I was saying. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad that I'm not crazy. I'm glad that I felt that somebody else felt the same way. It overstayed its welcome. It would have been better as a 2-part game or like an amazing DLC type thing.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not one to push DLC. I hate that. But goddamn, they made a long-winded ass game.
I feel like
thank God the combat was amazing.
I feel like you feel that's the exact same way you felt about Walking Dead.
Yes.
Yes.
The first season to this day is still the best season of Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. And that's how you felt about it. And because the way you're talking about it, the way you're talking about The Last of Us now was how you started to get to when The Walking Dead got to the point where you was like, oh, I'm good.
And ask me if I've watched it since.
No, you haven't.
I know I haven't. I think I've missed like 4 seasons.
You probably missed 4.
Spoiler alert, last thing I seen was Carl dying.
Yeah, you miss a lot.
A lot. Yeah. I've missed Alpha and Beta. Mm-hmm. I've missed the Whisperers. I've missed a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the utopia they try to create like after the whole war with Negan. I missed all that shit. Yeah. Why? Because I'm over it. And that it bothers some people because I'm that way about a lot of shit.
It bothered me.
Into the gaming. Yeah,
it bothered me because I was still watching it.
Over it.
And I would come on here and try to talk to you about it. And it was like I'm not watching it. I'll do anything but watch it. So I was like, okay, there's no point. But it's funny. I got to that point too. It was long and drawn out, and I just felt like a lot of stuff was rushed. And then a lot of the news started coming out on it, and then it was like, man, I don't want to see it.
And then they skewed away heavy from the source material.
Yeah.
But the part that got me the most, what really started like the downhill for me, is that whole season they took forever to figure out if Glenn got eaten by the zombies or not. Like that was a stretched out like 2-episode arc that they turned into a whole season.
Yeah.
Remember when he was on top of the trash can and he fell? They kind of panned out. There was a whole season around that. Mm-hmm. But back to my journey, and then we can get to Mortal Kombat. So I've been beating games like crazy. I just finished Dishonored 2. I think I beat that in like adult gaming week, which means a few days. But we all know like a couple hours a day. So I beat it in a reasonable time.
Yeah. I would give that gaming week is probably like 3 days, 3-4 days.
Yeah, 3-4 days. And then a 1 day of just me sitting there grinding my heart out like 8-9 hours. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this. That game was long-winded and it didn't have the spirit. It's funny. That game was half the time of The Last of Us, but I felt the long-windedness quicker. And
Ooh,
and it was a weird thing of it didn't have the spirit. Like Dishonored 1 was intense as hell. Mm-hmm. It was a special. Maybe it was because it was the first that felt like that. Like you teleporting around, you assassinating people. Like it was like a first person Assassin's Creed, but way more visceral, way more intense, way more detailed combat, different abilities, this, that, and the third. And then this game, it felt like a drag, and like I didn't even care for the story. Put it this way, I didn't even have the option to do the pacifist ending because I skipped through the last level. When I say I skipped through it, I could have been a speed runner. I didn't know I had the ability, and clearly I learned how to play the game because I was utilizing all my skills. I'm running past everybody. I'm literally running through an army of vampires. It was like, or witches. it was like 20 of them and a couple robots, and I'm sliding through, turning into shadows, going through vents, running over the top of them, hiding on ceiling fans, dashing down, all getting to the elevator. As the elevator opened, I grabbed the damn dog skull and force grabbed it and tossed it behind me, slid in the elevator, pressed the button, got to the last final boss battle.
And that was it.
And then when I got to her, I beat her ass. I laid traps down like crazy. And first she was beating me up like crazy because I didn't know what to do. And then I realized I was like, oh, duh, the whole point was getting her spirit into the heart, and I'm ruining the whole game. And I activate the heart, and we go into her little shadow realm. I beat her and her clone's ass. I'm laying down spike traps and bombs and shooting darts at her and beat her ass and asked me what it was for. I got my kingdom back. Get it done. And I was
ultimately
it was rough, man. It was just to get it done.
Look how you explain getting it done more than you explain the story, though. You really explain like, oh yeah, I laid traps, I squished the heart, and then she died, whooped her ass. That was it. Like, damn,
whooped her ass.
Can I get some context here? Like, but I get it. I don't want you to ruin it. Don't ruin it for people because it do make sense. But listening to you talk about it, this is how I expect you to explain it to me if we weren't sitting here recording. Because of I was just trying to get this shit done.
Hey, and that's the sad part because the first one was so special.
Yeah.
The first game was truly like, I remember when you first come against people who have similar powers to you. Mm-hmm. It was like some Jedi Dark Lord power battles.
Yeah.
Like, here it is. I'm teleporting over here. I swing, you disappear, you teleport behind me. And then, like, I throw a trap or I'm, like, casting some type of ability. And then we swinging swords and, like, it just, bro. Or I might mess around and shoot you. Like, all of a sudden you'll land, you'll materialize, and I'm shooting my pistol. And then I'm swinging my... But that the battles were there, but the feel in the combat was not the same.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't feel the same. Now, maybe I was just in a different mind space. Nah, because everybody who beat the game agreed with me. They were like, nah, bro, it's something missing. Like, it's like I don't care.
That happens. That tends to happen a lot when it comes to sequels. When it comes to sequels, it tends to happen a lot because they're trying to be innovative. They're trying to change something. They're trying to do something new. And I got the same feel. The only game, and I got to be honest, the only game I never got that feeling from was Uncharted.
Yeah.
That's the only
Uncharted
game.
Just progressively got better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of these games, they stray away from... You can't save everybody. So they stray away from trying to keep what the originality of the game to wanting to create something new, which would then bring in new fans and people like that. Whereas us old fans,
Kiddo.
What happened?
No, Kiddo was just saying he was just stopping through.
Oh, okay, yeah, man. Later, Kiddo. Thanks for stopping by, bro.
Much love, man. Really appreciate you, dude. But yeah, keep going. My bad.
So I was saying that a lot of these developers and I would have to say developers get to this point where they want to do something new. They want to innovate. They want to make it bigger and better. And sometimes that's not the case. You know, I know a lot of people that didn't play God of War. Well, it's God of War, but God of War 4 because it wasn't the original God of War.
You know what? They took a big risk, and I've argued about this quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I get on that game's head because for me, I felt like they because the story was so good, they got to cut corners in terms of enemies, like the filler enemies. And I was being nitpicky only because they took the whole open world route. Mm-hmm. But if we're being 100% real, God of War, they put everything on the line. You got to think they went from a character action game to a third person over the shoulder. Mm-hmm. They went from Devil May Cry to The Last of Us.
Yeah,
like that's basically what they did,
and it plays well. Though.
Keep going.
It plays well. So God of War itself plays amazing. And there's nobody that can, I would say, would disagree. It's just that us fans of the God of War series looked at it as something different, something new. And with it being that way, it kind of turned people away from it. It didn't really turn me away from it because I truly did enjoy the game. Once I figured out that all of this extra stuff that's going on, I did not have to play through. Then it became like, all right, cool. That is dope to know. I don't have to do half the stuff that's in this game already. I can just play. And like I said, that's cool to know. But when you find out, like the Valkyries, when you know that you can go after the Valkyries in that game, and I'm sorry, I may be ruining it for somebody, but I mean that game's been out for a while now.
3 years now.
Yeah, you would want to know, like, hey, that's a part of the game. I want to go and have these battles. Unfortunately, they all were the same. They were just different. It was all the same battle, just different lore to it. You know, each Valkyrie was different. You know, had a different lore to it, but the fight was the same. You killed them the same. You know, the headpiece you got damn near was the same. And that was the issue with it. Whereas when you look at the older God of Wars, it literally was, you know, you're fighting this dude.
Extravagant and special.
Exactly. When you took
each
I look back at God of War 3 and you look at all of the powers and all of the equipment you got as you played through that game. Imagine that. And then imagine what you've played in God of War, let's just say God of War 4. Because I still think the Hades battle was one of the dopest fights ever. I still think, matter of fact, that whole game, all of the bosses in that game was ridiculous. When you think about,
look at how you started God of War 3.
Man, you started, and that's the beauty of it. All of them, you always start off full power, full strength, big sword, all the power in the world, untouchable. And then something happens. You get stabbed with the sword of Olympus. You lose all your power. Or, you know, you get stripped of everything that you have and you got to reacquire everything to get back to that point, to unlock like the Spartan, you know, rage and all of that stuff. Like that was dope. I'm not saying God of War 4 was bad. I'm just saying that it took a risk and a lot of people didn't like it. Whereas I look at it as it was cool. I did like it. Just comparing it to God of War 3, it's not on its level because it was something new every time.
And that's where the game fell short for me, and people get real mad when I say it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's funny, I was arguing with Dallas over at Level 1 Gaming. I was arguing with him about it.
Shout out to Dallas.
And much love, man. I was telling him, I was like, look, bro, the game, you can't tell me that the game didn't feel like a big-ass filler with, like, it I feel like the open world part of the game took away from it.
It did.
And then I was like, think about every filler battle, the trolls and the Valkyries. And every time I bring up the Valkyries, everybody get mad. I'm like, it was the same shit.
Yeah, it was the same fight over and over again.
It was the same.
And just remember, you didn't have to fight the Valkyries. You could have beat that story without even looking at them. So people need to realize that was a big portion of the game.
People that talk about how hype it was.
Yeah. So you can't really, for me, like when you think about the big battles, I think you were carried through a majority of it, and I think that has a lot to do with the whole, like, think about it. That had a lot to do with you raising your son. Because Kratos was Kratos. Like, I feel like if you just played as his son, you didn't have to control Kratos. Kratos was going to win everything. Nobody in that realm or that world was on his level, right? And like even I won't go too much deeper, but nobody was on his level. And if you as the player made mistakes, that's how he died. That's how you died. But outside of that, it's you raising your son and you're going through this journey with your son, and it just took away from what we've known as it wasn't as thorough and straightforward with a lot of the stuff. You know,
it made him human.
I'm sorry?
It made him human.
Yeah, it did. It did. It turned him
let me tell you this, because I think I've said this a few times, probably even a few times live, or it's recorded somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
God of War, to me, I had more fun watching my brother play it than me playing it.
Is this
not that I didn't have fun playing it? The new one.
Okay.
The new one.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a character action game guy. Like, I've never really liked. I've never been big on Devil May Cry, Nier Automata, God of War. Nothing against them.
Yeah.
It's just in my eyes, and it's disrespectful, but I'm gonna say it. They're just like hyperactive platformers.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
what they are.
That's how that's what they are. Now it's disrespectful as hell because
it's not.
Like boiling it down to nothing. Yes, it is, because these games really mean a lot to people, and I'm over here just crapping on them like all it is a platformer with extra nuts.
But hear me out. A lot of these games, because I get what you're saying. I grew up watching my brothers play Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. And Resident Evil has a nice sized fan base. So you tell me, oh yeah, I had more fun. I enjoyed watching Resident Evil 2 more than I played it. You know how many people that would piss off? Some people regard that as the pinnacle of Resident Evil.
Yeah, Resident Evil.
And I didn't beat Resident Evil 2 until PlayStation 3. The end of PlayStation.
I got you.
So I had to go back to play that when there's already guides and YouTube videos and all types of stuff. So that would irritate people. But you still have to understand that that is a thing. People do watch video games being played now. I'm pretty sure a lot of us can remember only one player games and taking chances, and somebody in the house was that good.
Yep.
So,
bro, it's crazy. It's crazy to think, like, when I look at a lot of these different games, and going back to God of War, I'm glad they took the risk. I'm glad they did that, because it you pivoted in a way to where you can now run with it. Mm-hmm. It can only go up from here.
Yeah.
Hopefully they listen to the criticism. And then also I understand, and I believe Dallas brought this point up, that they made a lot of technical choices and they had to cut back. Because remember, they literally had to just stop development. Like, they had to just stop the game. They're like, we got to finish. We got to get something out when it came to that game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dylan, see it?
Oh, see, we was just talking about that. What up, Dylan?
What up, man? But no, dude, it's so crazy. I'm glad they took that chance. I'm crapping on the game because of the enemies. Because of the fact that they even cheaply did the color scheme thing. Like, here's the enemy, but they're green, which means this hurts them. Here's this enemy and they're blue, which means you can't use your ice axe. You got to use the fire. You got to use the blades of chaos, or what do they call blades of chaos?
Yeah, but remember, that wasn't, you didn't really get that off the rip. You got the axe.
No. I'm talking about in terms of, like, that's literally how the game, like, it felt like I was playing an old school game. Like, oh, the color of the enemy is this, so use this. Like, the color of the enemy is that. Use it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it felt.
I forget the name of the game, but yeah, I get what you're saying. And yes, you're right. It was like that because they added an element. They added different elements. They added cryo into it. You know, they added in slowing of enemies, and you know they had trash mob. You went from understanding the difference between a boss and trash mob to having to, okay, well, you know, this dude has a health bar at the bottom, so now we know he's it's just it was too much. And once again, I am not upset at the game, and I don't think you're trashing it. I think you're pointing something out that was in it because the game still played well. The story behind the game was still well. It just, when you think of the pinnacle of God of War, it is not God of War 4 or God of War. It is God of War 3. I would assume a lot of people would agree God of War 3 is the pinnacle of the franchise. Then I would say 2, probably 4, then 1.
Hey, you know what's funny? We're almost halfway through this podcast and we didn't talk about shit in the damn.
Well, we still got. I was just about to say we can transition into Outriders from here.
Yeah, let's bounce to Outriders.
It would make sense to transition into this.
Okay, so for Outriders, folks, Outriders is the new looter shooter that's coming out, and they're actually getting ready to come out with the beta for it. Right? There's a beta, and I don't remember exactly what day the beta is going live. I want to say it's next week or this weekend.
Let's see.
It actually might be this weekend. I don't want to get it wrong.
I'm on there.
Demo. Oh, it's not a beta, a demo. Oh, see, we need more demos. I like that word. Demo is this Friday.
Oh, okay.
This Thursday, the 25th.
It better not be trash either.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: looking at the game and watching gameplay, which you guys can find on YouTube, the game reminds me very much of The Division. Mm-hmm. I know you guys thought I was going to say another word, but it's The Division. It like
gotcha.
Yeah. But no, real talk. It is very much. It looks like The Division. I believe it's going to be parties of 3. I don't know if they're going to do parties of 4 or. I wonder. Okay, so the reason I stopped playing The Division. Because before we get heavy in Outriders, because we used to play the hell out of The Division. Mm-hmm. I fell off when they changed the currency and the farm rate. Mm-hmm. We used to be able to play the little amount we did, which was maybe about a good 10 hours a week. Like we were like that 2 hours every other night. Like we used to play. It was a group of us, me, you, Anthony. We used to really play The Division heavy. Mm-hmm. But then they changed the farm rate and they made it harder because there was a lot of people, they listened to their sweaties. Instead of paying attention to the whole, you listen to your sweaties and then you ruined it for everybody else. Yeah. Because now it turned into a game where if you didn't put in more than 10 hours or you missed an event or you missed whatever, you weren't going to be able to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't going to keep up. You were going to go to the dark zone and get murdered. Mm-hmm. So I wonder how Outriders is going to balance this because first we also got to acknowledge who's making it. This is Square Enix. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be honest. I can't think of any Square Enix shooters. I could be wrong.
They have if you go to their website, they have a list of their games. You got Final Fantasy, The Avengers, and Dragon Quest.
Listen to their shooter games. Killing Floor, Left Alive, which was that I think that was that like Metal Gear Solid looking game.
Okay.
Call of Juarez, Gunslinger, and Metro Exodus.
They did Just Cause 4? That would, I think they did Just Cause 4 as well.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Final Fantasies, of course. Marvel's Avengers, Kingdom Hearts, Nier Automata, or the Nier series, Tomb Raider, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, of course, Life is Strange, Just Cause, Deus Ex. Mm-hmm. Okay, so shooter-wise, they got all of the Square Enix own Deep Silver. Am I learning something here? That's ooh.
Wait.
Okay, so Deep Silver owns a lot.
Okay.
Deep Silver, like any of the smaller games, that makes sense. That's why they got Dying Light. Oh.
So it's safe to say that they're not their main focus isn't shooters.
No, shooters are not. When I think Square Enix, I do not go to shooters.
Of course.
Like the fact that I had to dig into their website to even find out what's what. Mm-hmm. Now, does that mean a company can't make shooters? No, that's not the case. Mm-hmm. Because we look at who went to shooters. Who was it? Whatever. There's a company out there and it's killing me. They went from one genre to shooters and it worked out really well.
Yeah. And we just got done talking about trying new things. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that
yes.
I don't want to prod at this, and I know I can. Right? We've seen this before. So you just talked about the change in economy. There's going to be a change of economy in this game. I will bet on it. And I hope I'm wrong. I say this all the time. But there's going to be a change of economy. We've seen all of the top looter shooter games that have been out for the past 6-7 years do or I think it's 5 to 6 years, have some type of economy change. If not one, at least two. And it naturally happens because they put out a game expecting one thing, and their expectations get blown to shit when they find out.
And then the community on farms.
Mm-hmm. And the community figures out things. They find glitches. They find hacks. They find different stuff that breaks your game. And let's be honest, I don't think none of these developers are looking like we want our game purposely broken. So, you just don't want to make the mistake that the Dead game made. The
man,
game.
some games don't bounce back once they get broke.
No, and it's not worth it. And I can't even remember the Dead game name. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hey, no.
I just don't, and that's my point. That's my whole point to it. So, and then another point to that, another point to add on to that is the fact that starting off, they're making a big mistake. If one of you community managers,
you get to say it one time.
Oh no! I'm not gonna even say it. I'm just saying, if one of you community managers, space opera. No. If one of you community managers is listening to this, I may not be nobody, but if you don't market your game for your own community, not for anybody else's community, it will not last. Mark my words.
Because if you're going to fall on your face every time, because you're going to fall short in some way. But let me let's speak on the positives.
Yeah,
let's speak on the positives. Let's say they piggyback off of what the Division 2 is doing right. Mm-hmm. Which the Division 2 is winning because they're continuing to put money into it. Yep. Let's be real. They're coming out with free DLC. Mm-hmm. They're coming out. Hey, what up, Brian? They're coming out with
Mac
late,
here.
but we here.
Yeah.
They coming out with free DLC. Mm-hmm. They're coming out with the quote unquote farm, never ending cycle things to do. The tower. I forgot what it was called. Where it's basically like just. I don't know if it was tower defense or whatever, but you'd be fighting up the ladder, just more and more horde mode.
Yeah,
they're coming out with different stuff to keep people. Oh, got you. Oh, for sure. Drop the link, Juan. And we'll make sure to check that out, or even message us. It don't matter. We got you. But it's so crazy. Just piggyback off of the positives, but let me tell you the biggest thing that Outriders has right now, above every other game that's out there, day one, crossplay. Crossplay, day one.
You don't
get a Felly?
You don't get a pass for not having it in this time of era. In this time, there's no pass. You get no pass. No pass.
Well, let me tell you this. Because all the other games that don't have it, which there's some big name games we know that don't have crossplay active. You have cross save, but you don't have crossplay. But we're acting like we're under embargo or something.
Yeah, we don't want to say too much, but we told ourselves we're not gonna say the one game. Like, we're just not gonna talk about this game, and it would be a good comparison to Outriders, but it doesn't make any sense to talk about them because we always talk about them. Like, let's give it a break for now.
Yeah, to the point I thought I was a podcast for them.
Yeah, exactly. He called it, and I said that's not happening, bro. I'm not doing it.
Hey, no, Juan, we're gonna get into that. We kind of skipped over it for now. We're talking about games, but we're gonna wrap up talking about the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah.
But with Outriders, man, a lot of these other established games get away with it due to the fact that they just already have established fan bases and they're big name titles.
And this
they come from big companies.
But Outriders is being marketed as a big name title too, and they're actually putting they've given you gameplay They've given gameplay from 7 months ago. They've given you different multiple trailers.
A demo.
They're about to give you a demo. The game don't come out till April. They're giving you a demo. You said this Friday it comes out, and they're also giving
this Thursday.
And they also gave you character breakdown. So you can look at all of that, and if you say that's not for me, then cool. But a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, look at all of this information what we have, and you're telling me that this isn't even 2% of your game or even 1% of your game.
This ain't the really day one patch version.
Exactly. So I'm intrigued by the game, and I'm excited for it because of what they're marketing to a person in like who likes looter shooter games, and everything that they're showing that they're gonna have. They're gonna have different what do you call it? Like abilities, different elements to the game. You know, freeze, burn, all of that. So I'm excited for that part about it. I'm just not excited. I don't think I'm ever gonna be excited, and I think because when you look at games that came out this year, like Cyberpunk, we won't go too much into it. That, huge disappointment, and I don't want to be disappointed. I just don't.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna be disappointed with this game. Let me rephrase. Mm-hmm. Why I think I won't be disappointed, because of course we could turn it on and it don't even work. Like there's so many things that can happen in between. Like it could go bad.
It can be rushed. We got you.
Or we can get in the game and it just don't feel good. Yeah. Like some games just don't feel good, and that's almost what happened with Dishonored 2. Mm-hmm. It took me a while to thug through it because at first the game did not feel good. Like I was asking myself, do I know how to play video games? I was like, come on, I'm not that bad.
I'm not that bad.
Like I'm not that bad. Like that's how I started feeling. Like, bro, I died like 10 times in the first hour.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this ain't Dark Souls. Like what the hell's going on here? But going back to Outriders. Now, I like the fact that the gameplay they're showing us is clearly in-game gameplay. It's not over dramatized. It's not super hyper graphics mode. It's clearly not just a slice. It's a slice of just overall gameplay, but not just a perfectly made slice. Like, let's make this moment for the commercial. When you look at the stills for the game look plausible. It's not hyper detailed, like, oh my God, look at the God rays. It's none of that. This looks like in-game, highly possible stuff. Like, I look at this and I don't see, you know how when you watch a lot of trailers, especially now as an adult, because as a kid they used to get us, but now as somebody who pays attention to this stuff, the game ain't gonna look like that. Mm-hmm. The game ain't gonna look like that. Like,
but like, hey,
now
listen. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But for me, I'm not a graphics junkie, so that's not a major point for me. Like, outside of the major glitches, I enjoyed Cyberpunk for what I did play, but I knew what I was getting into. Yeah. I was getting into Deus Ex mixed with CD Projekt Red storytelling.
But you did.
I knew what I was going to get, and I loved CD Projekt Red storytelling. Yeah. So I knew what I was getting into, and if it was that at the bare minimum, I was going to be happy, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
Was it a lot more hollow than they promised? Of course, but we're not going to go deep into that. So go ahead.
I'm actually done with it, to be honest. I just don't want. I'm tired of saying the same thing. Like, hey, listen, I want you to succeed. I want you to win. I'm truly looking forward to enjoying your game, but don't make the mistakes that we've seen these other companies come in and do. We've seen a lot of companies come in and try to market to a specific game group of people. No, generate your own community. Let these people come in and test your game out and enjoy it, because if it's good, people are going to play it. I'm going to play it. You won't get a complaint out of me. But the issue is, once you start you start bringing people in and calling them ambassadors of your game, and which they have done, it's kind of like, okay, man, like you didn't
That's
go.
Funny, I didn't.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't apply for it. I was gonna say I think that was the one thing I didn't apply for, and it was only because I thought I missed the window.
Yeah,
but
no,
you applied.
You could have applied. Not only did you have to, you could have went and applied, but they went out and purposely went and searched for people, and they found people and they offered it to them, and some people took it, and that's how they came out when they actually dropped the gameplay trailers a couple months ago. These people came out and they said, "Oh yeah, I'm an ambassador," and I'm like, "An ambassador? What?" And they knew what they were doing, and I get it, but I'm telling you, you know what? I hope it worked. I hope it worked.
Me too.
Man, I sound like a Debbie Downer, but I hope it worked. It's just you don't want to make the mistake, man, and especially when you make a good game. If you make a good game and everything you're offering in the game works, it works. That's it. There's no complaints there. Other little hiccups and glitches and stuff like that, everybody's going to complain about those. But if they're minor, you have nothing to worry about.
Like, check this. Like, what gets me about it is and I've seen a couple of pictures of the skill trees, is they classify it as a true genre hybrid. Outriders combines brutal, bloody combat with deep role-playing systems, including a sprawling skill tree and endless gear modifications.
Oh, you know what, Juan? We haven't gotten to the breakdown yet.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's actually next.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to end with that. I'm excited for that. And then I'm excited that they're doing a demo that you don't have to spend any money to enjoy. That means they have a lot of faith in their game, or they just letting the world decide.
Yeah, that's all I want.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
there's nothing wrong, folks. Take a clue. Let the world decide. Sometimes you don't even got to say too much. Like I hate. I actually get really nervous when games market for a wide audience. The moment a game markets for a very wide audience, and it's not a Call of Duty, and it's not a 2K or Madden or sports game, Call of Duty or a sports game, or a family-friendly like Mario game, when they try to market to everybody, I get immediately nervous, and I think it's going to suck. And the proof is Fallout 4. Because Fallout 4, even though the game did not suck, it just, in my opinion, was not a good Fallout game.
Yeah.
For the reason why, for the simple fact that they tried to really market to everybody. When I started seeing commercials during, was it Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Super Bowl. It was on TV. Like, when I'm just watching regular television.
Was it the finals? I want to say it was the NBA Finals, yeah.
Yes, because the game came out 11/10/2015. So, yep, that's right around. Yep. So, or not? No, because finals.
The finals. Was
because basketball
June.
played June.
Yeah.
So no, wasn't finals. When did they? Oh yeah. It was finals because it came out during E3.
Yeah.
They announced it during
June.
E3.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So, but my point is, whenever and we can go down the list. Anytime a game is mass marketed, and I'm talking about where your mama is seeing the trailer, the game usually is not like for the core community.
Yeah. You can go down the list.
And it's like so weird. We can go down yeah. And what's so weird about it is the gaming community at its base, at its core, is big enough now to carry it. Like, even if you did not reach any outliers or any, like, just core gamers, I'm talking about people who buy 1 to 2 games a month, core gamers. There's enough of us out here where we could carry the industry. Yeah. Now, are you going to be making billions? No. The real money comes in from the regulars who buy the game and then don't want to really play, and they go and buy DLC and coins and microtransactions. That's where a majority of their money come from. But the problem is, when you cater to them, you lose out on us.
Yeah, your hardcore fan base.
It's a weird game.
I think that nobody has found that balance yet. So it's still on the table to be made. No one has found that balance yet. So I'm rooting for Outriders. I'm going to get it. I just hope I'm able to get it day one, and I don't have to second guess if I'm going to get it or not. So we'll see.
And then I'm excited because it's crossplay, so I don't even care what system I get it on.
You don't have to.
I'm gonna just buy it wherever
the hell is that?
I'm gonna buy it wherever it's cheaper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I got a funny feeling on the Xbox One or the PS4 it's gonna be cheaper, and I'm gonna run it on that.
And that's that.
Like, so moving on, Mortal Kombat. Topic. Why is Scorpion always the coolest character?
Because Scorpion is a boss, son. He's a boss,
bro. Now I'm confused. Are they going to be telling the story through a random character's eyes? That's what it kind of seemed like. Who's the dude in the MMA cage?
You know what? I don't know. See, I had to bring it up because when I watched it, I had to watch it in like slow-mo at one point to get like all of the super minute details towards it. And to be honest, I think that I don't think it's going to be told.
File is simple.
Oh, my bad. I brought the video back up, but I don't think it's going to be told through. I think they're obviously showing it as, you know, multiple realms, fighting tournament, blah 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 blah. We don't know like if there's like what the true bad guy is, because you can't really call Shao Kahn a bad guy if this is like a legendary tournament that happens. You know, it happens. You just, you know, yeah. Unless they do bring in the element of like, hey, we're coming to take over Earth Realm, you know, yada yada yada.
Yeah, we want everything. We want it all.
Yeah.
And then we finally get a legit Goro.
And he looked good. Did he look good?
He looked Goro looked good. I was like, look at my boy.
Man,
look what they did to my boy.
It looked good. And what made it look doper was the fact that they're keeping to the super gore roots of it. Like when he
the magic and the mysticism.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and they still kept
they're
all
going
that.
Deep into that. I'm happy they're going, because first off, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people get on the original movies. I like the first one. First one was one of the best movies. First off, the Scorpion and Johnny Cage fight was A1.
Was dope.
Mm-hmm. Not only for its time frame, but how much they stuck to the game world designs.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the woods with the thin trees, and then going to the place with all the bones at the bottom and the spikes. Like they literally recreated 2 Mortal Kombat levels that they fought at in that one area.
I think they had, but you see, super Mortal Kombat fans are a fan of that movie, right? Because you're a super Mortal Kombat fan. I believe that wholeheartedly. When you look at like, as you get older now, you're looking at these. Oh, the graphics is corny. The way the CGI is trash. Like, yeah,
it wasn't too bad, you know, back then.
You know, people are sticklers about it.
Did I see Baraka? I don't think I seen Baraka in the trailer.
I didn't see Baraka in the trailer. I got it playing as we speak. But I did remember what the question I had was, I'm like, man, like Kano's been a bad guy for so long.
And he looks like a good guy.
And he looks like he's a part of like the team now. He's part of the squad. So that was a question. That was something that I was intrigued by was Kano and how Kano's character gonna be. I think the Australian super funny guy, never takes anything serious, is dope. You see Melina?
Melina? She looks dope.
Man.
But see, now that means you gotta make what's her name, a black woman.
Jade?
Yeah, you gotta make Jade not Jade.
Katana?
Is Jade Melina's? Yeah, Katana. You gotta make Katana a black woman.
Katana.
Because Melina is a genetic twin of Katana.
Yeah. But she didn't, but that's the games though.
Look.
Sindel.
I would, yeah. Look, Sindel, they mama. This is what I'm saying.
It's going to be dope, man. I'm excited for it. I'm super juiced, and a lot of it is because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan. So, like, as at this point, like, it's going to be like Grammy. It should be Grammy nominated. Like that's how far ahead I'm into it, you know. But also, they made my character dope. They made Scorpion dope, man. Even the get over here moment was fire. Like, you're not going to tell me anything. and it doesn't come out. It comes out in April, which is around the corner. I might risk it.
I'm so happy they didn't. See, this is. I'm gonna be real with you. I brought up Fallout 4. The one major positive from Fallout 4 was they announced the game, and then 3 to 4 months later, the game came out. I was hoping that everybody and their mama would take that from now on.
But were you? I wasn't expecting this. I knew nothing about the Mortal Kombat movie.
I knew that. I've seen the emblem. The emblem's been but this is what we freaking do.
Yeah,
the emblem's been circling for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And people have been talking about it, just like they were talking about the Godzilla versus Kong, and there was a couple movies that they've been talking about for a while. Mm-hmm. Godzilla versus Kong comes out next month, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they've been these things have been like circling, like in talks for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, March 31st. March 31st.
Yep. See, it's gonna be dope.
Bro, listen.
Some people think Smoke is gonna be in the movie too.
I hope all the characters are in it, all of them. But what's sad is my second favorite character, Aaron Black. I'm not expecting him to be in this one. So they better come out with
even though he could be.
They better come out.
So they're saying that. They're saying that the new guy that we saw who was in the MMA, his name is Cole Young. He's never been in the games, but he's the mysterious MMA fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. What are they saying? Liu Kang has sort of lost his league. Yeah, that's what's weird. Liu Kang is not the main character.
Yeah.
Or at least not from the trailers. Like Liu Kang I feel like Liu Kang's gonna die like he did in was it Annihilation? When Sanok and
I think it was
all of them jumped him
on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they jumped him when he was at the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they whooped his
I think
ass.
I did see
it
Smoke.
Took all three of the big bads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoke. They said Smoke popped up at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I hope they don't kill. I think they're gonna kill Liu Kang, bro.
It happens. If you play the game, it happens. But he's never actually dead. Like, he ain't gonna be back. Like that's what irritates me sometimes of being an adult. Like, you don't need wishful thinking anymore. You just it's gonna happen.
Go read a book.
We gonna check.
Go read it. Yeah. Oh, bro, the magic is gone.
Magic is gone.
I do, bro. Like, could you imagine being a kid during Infinity War Part 2?
Oh, I said this to my son. The way my son watches Spider-Man and how super hyped he get on specific parts of the movie, it make me all warm inside. My son, he be like, "Yeah, I'm a superhero," and it make me happy to see that. I be wanting to cry. I be like, "Oh, look at him! Look at him! He on there doing the Spider-Man stance. He jumping off my couches. I'll be getting hyped." But then I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well, it's like 4 of them mugs. Like, we don't even know if he's gonna be around here forever because Fox and this, that, and I gotta get super like into all of the extra stuff that I wish I didn't have to get into." But yeah, I'm excited for this Mortal Kombat because we get to see one in this era of CGI and
and then you got to think about the people who are fighting in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You got people who fought people from what's that damn the Raid. You got people from not Ong Bak, but this is post Ong Bak Kung Fu movie.
Yeah,
Ong Bak. Once that shit came out, man, that completely revamped and created a whole new modern TV Kung Fu.
Yeah,
it was martial arts, TV martial arts. I keep calling it Kung Fu because it's not all Kung Fu. But martial arts movies took a major change. It became more gritty, a lot more visceral, like smashing in faces. And if you've seen The Raid, if you've seen Ong Bak, if you've seen any of these movies, you know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of knees, a lot of elbows, a lot of close quarter, random major dodging and weaving. And the fighting in this is going to be dope, and they got a lot of good martial arts people in this movie.
You know what?
I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
You know what I just thought about? Like the whole like multiverse thing, because when I forget what game it was. It wasn't Shinnok, it was Ermac. Ermac in one of the games is who took Jax's arms.
Okay.
It was Ermac. And to see that it's not Ermac, we clearly seen it wasn't Ermac that did it. So
do you think they showed too much in the trailer?
Huh?
Do you think they showed too much in the trailer?
Okay, so based off of how I normally talk about trailers, I would say yes. But me being a super Mortal Kombat stan, it's like
it got me hyped.
Yeah, it got me hyped, and it's just that's just a taste. We're gonna get more. It's gonna be like 3-4 hours worth of fight, and I'm cool with that. But
man, if they made this movie 3 hours, I wouldn't even be mad.
I wouldn't even. I might go to the theaters, bro. I'm not. I might risk it.
You might risk it. You might risk it.
I might risk it. I might
risk
it.
I'm gonna tell you this. Seeing Godzilla in theaters, bro, I felt like a little kid, dude. I was up in there, jaw dropped, just
yeah. It's crazy, huh?
Like
it's crazy.
I kept tapping my wife like, that's that's a baby mama.
Yeah.
Godzilla's kind of a woman. But we ain't gonna talk about that.
We ain't gonna have that conversation.
Yeah, like it just, man, dude. Some movies really need to be enjoyed in theaters, and I want theaters to live. As much as I like, me, as much as I don't like, I strive to not leave my facilities.
Yeah. If I can't go to the theaters, I'm gonna make it as theater-like as I'm full blast.
Like, don't talk to me. Yeah, we get the sound bar.
Exactly.
Like, don't talk to me.
I might make it
machine. I'm gonna have my kids dressed up with like a little attendants with flashlights and walk me to my seat. Like, I'm going all out. They're gonna get my snacks. Like, yeah.
So I just might though, but yeah. So far, so good. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait to see. Well, because obviously they're gonna have to develop Liu Kang, like they're gonna have to. I'm waiting to see what that's like. I'm waiting to see if they do bring any of the cyborgs in there. We didn't see any of those. Like, I would love to see them bring them in there. Somebody said they brought, to see the full reign of Scorpion and Sub-Zero's fighting power or style, whatever you want to call it. I'm super excited for that. They know they're gonna have to do the teleport. They're gonna have to do the Scorpion teleport.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be so upset if they don't. And I'm like the super Scorpion fan. Like Scorpion and Noob Saibot was just my characters right there. So yeah, man, folks, I'm excited for it.
So y'all know how serious we are about Mortal Kombat. We drove all the way to Arizona for a Mortal Kombat tournament the weekend before my wedding.
Yep.
I think it was the weekend before my wedding with a busted radiator.
One of the dopest days.
That was one of the coolest fucking trips ever. It was a turnaround trip. We didn't even stay. Your boys won and two. Went to the tournament. Yeah, man. I lost to the guy who won the tournament, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah, I lost to the third runner-up. Dude that got third place. No.
Remember that kid who could have won it all, but he switched characters?
Mm-hmm. He should have kept
poor kid. Scorpion.
Kodo Khan.
Everybody was using Scorpion. He was using Scorpion.
The little boy was using Kodo Khan.
And then he switched to Scorpion.
And then lost. And then the other dude was using Sub-Zero. And that's, I think, was it Sub-Zero that won? I think it was Sub-Zero won. Was the dude that...
All I know is I watched Scorpion's fatality at least 20 times that night.
Yeah, you seen it from me. Shit.
Hey.
I was in there scorpioned up, man. I enjoyed that day. I enjoyed that day a lot.
Remember the dude who won was wearing the Mortal Kombat Air Forces, the Mortal Kombat New Era hat, a T-shirt, And I should have known. The dude was playing me out. He was letting me act like I could compete. And I was having fun. Because you know me, I'm just having fun. I really had no anticipation of winning. My fear was getting far on accident and then getting people actually cheering me on. And then they realized, or they realized he's button mashing. But the dude played me and then ended up just clean sweeping me, juggled me and all type of shit, and boom, sent me home. All right, man.